having a developed nation by 2047 or 2050. So on how some of these aspects of empowering the local governments, conducting elections on time are critical in this form.
Thank you, G. Santosh. Thank you to each one of you for sparing time. Two, three quick things. One is we have put out this goal of Viksit Bharat by 2047, so that in the 100th year of Indian independence, we are able to achieve higher income status, developed country status. But we have to be conscious that cities will play a very important role in our ability or in our inability to achieve that in the next 22 years. No country in the world has achieved higher income status and developed country status without planned and sustainable urbanization. And no country in the world has achieved planned and sustainable urbanization without robust urban local governments. And the risks that India is facing today and what needs to be a national priority for India today, which it is not as of now, is robust urban local governments. We are seeing cities have become politically salient in the last 10 years, both at the union level and the state level. But as Alokji said, it is taking the form of large investments in metro rail, in sewer connections, water supply, solid waste management, etc., which are important priorities, but none of those benefits will last if you don't have autonomous local self-governments in our cities. And Alokji also mentioned why service delivery, etc., is not translating to outcomes. He gave the example of traffic management. That's a good example. Now, therefore, the stepping stone to autonomous, to robust local self-governments in India cities, what we call ULGs, is timely elections. And it appears that in the last 10 years, we may be going one step forward in the form of urban infrastructure investments, but 2 steps backward in governance reforms. But in the last 30 years, we have reached a stage in India where it is unthinkable for state government elections to be delayed. There was a time when there were ad hoc dismissing of state governments, etc., which used to happen in the 80s and up until the early 90s. We have overcome that situation. Today it is unthinkable that Lok Sabha or Vidhan Sabha elections will be delayed. But with impunity, we are delaying elections to, at one point of time, sometime 2 years ago when the CAG did the audit, up to 1,700 out of the 4,500, then it must have been 4,500 odd urban local governments did not have elected councils. And these are not minor delays of a few days here or there. As Mansi mentioned in her presentation, in this report, the average delay is about 22 months. And the delay, the upper end of the delay is quite high, and it is bizarre and ludicrous that cities like Bombay and Bangalore, which are among the world's largest cities, do not have elected governments for many years at a stretch. Bangalore, for example, has not had an elected urban local government now for about 5 years. Bombay has not had it for about 3 years. And the situation in Gurugram was no different a few years ago. And the same is the case in many cities. So this is an under-discussed agenda in urban. We discuss about metro rail, we discuss about Har Ghar Jal, we discuss about EV, adoption of electrification of fleet, etc. But none of those is as fundamental as timely elections. And the irony is, if you see the first line of the Statement of Objects and Reasons for the 74th Amendment when it was introduced in Parliament in 1992, it says that the necessity for the 74th Amendment has come because of delays in ULG elections, because of persistent supersession of urban local governments by state governments. And the point that Alokji mentioned, which is that devolution of powers has not been effective because they have not given any exclusive functions to the urban local governments. So we feel that there is an excellent opportunity now with one nation, one election for us to sort this out. It looks, they have mentioned it in their reports, but it looks like they have not taken it as their first priority.
The first stage only the parliament.
So in the first stage they have spoken about parliament and state elections. But our submission is It's a huge opportunity for us in multiple dimensions to also ensure that local government, timeliness of local government elections is also addressed through this process. And then there are 2-3 other buckets of reforms that we have recommended. One is we are saying it is time for us to evaluate the need to strengthen legislation around elections to urban local governments. If required through a separate national legislation or through amendments to the 74th CA to plug some of the loopholes that Alokji spoke about, what he referred to very nicely as constitutional silence. Or it may even be mechanisms at the union level to incentivize states to amend their own state laws. We've called all of that out here, where state legislations are silent, including on things like once elections are held, within how much time to constitute the council and hold elections to the mayor, deputy mayor, etc. as well. So that is the second piece, which is how do you strengthen the legal framework about it?